And we begin tonight with a heartbreaking concert tragedy in Houston and a desperate hunt for answers. Authorities launching a criminal investigation to find out what went wrong at the Astro World Music Festival. The sold-out event, the crowd pushing forward during the performance by rapper Travis Scott. One survivor describing how he was pushed off his feet by the crush of people. 8 victims now confirmed to have died. Dozens of others were rushed to the hospital.
It's like smoke is coming out of the crowd, plenty of difficulty breathing, crushing type injuries. Seems like the crowd is compressed.
So many questions about how this could have happened.
I started this video once I heard about the Astro World event. With little information released at this time, I decided to go over what they have released so far. The story goes, a stampede of fans surging toward the stage during rap star Travis Scott's Astro World Music Festival in Houston. At least 8 people, and injured dozens more, as panic rippled through the crowd of largely young concertgoers. In the sold-out audience of about 50,000, as people pressed toward the stage, people began to fall unconscious, some apparently suffering cardiac arrest and other medical issues. Minutes later, the chaos was declared a mass casualty incident. It was reported that 25 people were taken to hospitals by ambulance, some in cardiac arrest. 8 people, most ranged in age from 14 to 27. I'm aware of the Satan themes throughout the event. However, if you noticed, they have large platforms all saying the same thing, such as human sacrifice, Satan worshiping, etc. But from my perspective, it all looks like a show purposely done to put out fear, while putting Travis Scott into public awareness a little more, elevating his career. They know how to trigger the truth community. To some degree, it has the truth, but for this video, I will not follow the narrative they want and claim kids were sacrificed. Instead, I will focus on the event and maintain there were no real sacrifices. First, we have to understand that there are child crisis actors. Let's take Barbara Schneider Foundation. Here it says, the Barbara Schneider Foundation is busy working with its partners in law enforcement, courts, corrections. Actors are trained by BSF and bring their own insight of stress, trauma, and mental illness to the characters they portray in the trainings. For reference, just look at the Parkland High School shooting, all child actors.
These people saying this is absolutely disturbing, and I'm not an actor in any sense, way, shape, or form. I am the son of a former FBI agent, and that is true. But as such, it is also true that I go to Stoneman Douglas High School.
These people saying this is absolutely disturbing, and I'm not an actor in any sense, way, shape, or form. I am the son of a former FBI agent, and that is true. But as such, it is also true that I go to Stoneman Douglas High School.
Even those starving children in those old-feed child commercials were just crisis actors pulling at your heartstrings. They might look like they're dirt poor, living in a one-room thatch hut in some remote village with no running water, no sewage system, and no access to food or health care. But take a closer look, and you'll see these so-called forgotten children are really just crisis actors hired to dupe gullible people into handing over their hard-earned money to George Soros. But I'll leave that alone. At the Travis Scott event, it's no different. Let's start with some obvious child and adult acting.
There's a lot of people that were involved in this incident. And we need to do our job, play our part, and we need to stay united and bring awareness to this, because this is not how you handle things. This is not how you do it. You go to a concert to have fun, you don't go to a concert to die. He could stop a show for his shoe, but he can't stop a show for people. It was upsetting. It was sad. I was seeing people get thrown left and right. Stop, girls, guys, everybody, little kids. What you guys to know? We're trying to stay strong. My brother was trying to save him, and he did. He saved him, and it cost him his life.
As always, crying with no tears, while constantly looking in one direction. It all indicates they're looking at notes. For some, it's hard to read or remember lines while trying to show real emotions. Try it for yourself.
Getting comments saying I'm a hero. I lost my friend. Like, she's not here with us right now. Like, I mean, not physically, but just things like that.
Oh, I lost my friend. Like, she's not here with us right now. Like, I mean, not physically, but just things like that.
After the people had fallen down, the crowd moves and I fall down on top of them, like back on top of their bodies, and I could hear the people in agony.
I saw people on the floor that were not breathing. I saw people on the floor that were seizing out and falling down. I don't know. Personally, I did not see anyone in injections, but I don't know what happened. People were falling down left and right. And I'm gonna make a part two.
I've been trying to keep my composure for hours. I've been crying nonstop. But how in the hell can I keep my composure? My fucking friend died. My best friend. We need to hold each other accountable. It starts with you, Travis Scott. It starts with you. I can no longer take this. People have died. My friends died.
She deleted her other two videos. I see why. It is apparent that crisis actors really follow the desired guidelines of the event. Notice how they all use the same narrative.
A nightmare. It's a whole nightmare that just continues to play every night in my head. It's scary. Literally, at night I can't even sleep.
I don't know. I've kind of been liking a little bit of sleep. Not that I can't sleep more. It's just I can't.
Predictive programming. Here's the poster for the Travis Scott event. Notice it has the rafflesia flower as the artwork. The rafflesia emits a repulsive odor similar to that of rotting meat. It is also known as the corpse flower with the smell of rotting flesh. At the event, they're claiming 8 people died. We see bodies being lifted out, and we also see a pre-written sign with the word saying "Will he survive?" Most will say it's lyrics from one of his songs called Apple Pie on Rodeo. It says "Will he survive?" But remember, there is no such thing as coincidences. Remember, we saw something similar in the O.J. Simpson video. Moving on to the kids, modern entrance gates and merchandise booths. I suggest the idea that these kids were told to hold off until given the cue to rush through the gates. They show you everyone rushing to the gates, but they don't show you this. and you see the kids rushing. And here's the retake. Everyone goes back to their place.
And a flight that's the right price. Airline, stops, cabin class, and more. Search Kayak now.
Download Humpty to have him fall, even if you're offline. Get YouTube Premium.
Also, it appears to look like kids are struggling to get out. Maybe they are, but only because they have planted people in the audience to make it hard for others to leave. Pay attention to the kid trying to get out. Now look at the person behind him. As the camera focuses on him, he looks and gives a thumbs up, clearly planted in him to be there. Someone there even said the gates were breaking, and they held it closed. My guess is, it looked more dramatic. Exactly what the cameras needed.
Our barricade even started to break to us and like start strapping the rails, and they were even like holding it like the whole concert because the metal had literally started to break.
After all, this lady appeared to look at the camera before or while helping someone. The venue could have held up to 200,000, but organizers limited the crowd to 50,000 based on ticket sales, so they had plenty of room. In fact, enough room to easily escort Kylie Jenner and her family out through the crowd with no problem. And just enough room for people to create a circle while people fight. Watching everything, I've learned that short gates and a puddle of water are enough to stop a modern crowd of kids. It's obvious people were flown in from other cities or countries and created a small section where the stampede took place. Looking at Sienna Faith's Instagram, I find it strange she's showing a video of her flight on November 2nd, 2 days before the Astroworld event. This is me speculating, but I think it's her being flown here to carry out her role. Army fatigue pants and big combat boots. This looks all too familiar. Another sign of a military operation.
And as the people, the first layer of people who fell down happened, we ended up falling down on our backs, and people ended up falling on top of us. I remember someone moved off of my face, bodies on me. There was definitely feet on my hands because I had like small scratches, but they're not that bad. But there was people on top of me from toes to head. My feet were stuck under people, and whenever the person moved off of my face,
he was on his back on the ground getting stomped over prior to approaching the stage. Yet his shirt appears to be clean white, with no sign of a struggle. But how can this all be staged if everyone was there? How it's done could be similar to magicians. Understanding how magic tricks work could help protect people from manipulation by politicians, marketing, and staged events. Psychology used by magicians to deceive audiences can also be used to influence the general public. Magic tricks use powerful tools to control behavior. Tricks create an illusion, drawing on the tactic of misdirection, where a magician draws the audience's attention in one direction with the help of planted spectators, while real moves are being made out of sight. In short, there's a group of people controlling the crowd. The covert control and modification of people's thoughts make the rest of the world believe it's real, leaving questions like, how could it be faked if thousands of people were there? The simple answer is people follow the crowd. The people dying were placed there. Interesting tweet from someone that was there. It says, I've been in a pit that makes Astroworld seem like daycare. Even the camera showing people passed out or dying looks fake. The way they film it would never happen in reality. Notice they only show the bodies for a few seconds, then they turn the camera away and point at the stage. Most intoxicated kids do not think that way. Not at this time of social media, but these controlled cameras show you just enough to create shock value. I'm not saying people never passed out. I'm sure people ended up getting a little too drunk or too high, and ended up falling out. I'm simply saying I don't believe anyone died. They used those that passed out to dramatize the event.
So I was at the Travis Scott concert last night. I was doing security. And from the moment the kids got there, they was doing drugs. Everybody kids. It was passing out. We had to call paramedics for them. And it slowly started getting thicker and thicker. And so by the time we got to the main stage, to Travis Scott, we had to lift people over barriers. Not one, but I was still lifting these people over barriers, male and female, essentially to overeating. But another problem was they was taking drugs.
Let's look at one of the victims they spotlight, Axel Acosta, a 21-year-old who was killed, allegedly suffocated by a river of people and then trampled over. When he collapsed, concertgoers trying to escape their own suffocation caused by the crowd rush trampled over his body. When emergency caregivers finally removed Axel from the thick of human mass, he was lying lifeless on the littered grass. It was said he was unidentified, so the authorities released this photo. Showing what looks like a lifeless Axel Acosta. Written at the top, case details. Besides the fact that the image appears to be a Photoshop, which can be seen by zooming in on the outline of the face. But I decided to search the Harris County Institute of Forensic Science website to check his case status. Here we can check the status of medically examiner cases. No surprise, it says currently no information is available for that search criterion entered. And of course, with every staged event, they bring in the lawyers that only deal with staged events, Benjamin Crump. For me personally, it was all I needed to see that this whole thing was staged. I'm not downplaying the satanic aspect of it all. I'm sure every element has some truth to it. I'm only saying the fact that they have these big TikTok and YouTube platforms coming out saying everyone was sacrificed makes me believe they want that in our face. Which means you should think the opposite. A part of me think it's to keep us away from whatever knowledge they have, making us scared to go near. In the Satan's word, I get it. I am aware of the Astroworld inverted cross, but they're all actors. They build these sets and themes, knowing what the public reaction will be. No one was really sacrificed. It is a show that drains your energy from all directions. They're acting out to cause fear. Satan awards them for playing the game. Look at the award shows. Emmy is trademarked property of NETAS. What is that backwards? Satan.
What happened to my blessing that I won my baby Mag, you know? So sorry, baby, the joke's on you this time, baby.
like I was saying, man, I was gonna do a thing like this, but dude put it together, so that nigga put that shit together nice. But it was basically what I was talking about with the crowd and shit. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. That was the end all of be all. So you know what I'm saying. Y'all go subscribe to the channel if you want to rewatch it for better quality. Go ahead and watch it, but make sure you like, share, subscribe this video. I'm John Hoax. How I just got an opinion. I'm out.